Why are Spotify playlists so powerful? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, so if you're watching this, I'm living in Atlanta, but this was filmed in Westchester, Pennsylvania, and a couple weeks before filming this, I went to Atlanta, just to see what it's like and really decide if I want to move there. And I'm living with a manager in A&R who has been in meetings with executives from Sony, Def Jam, Quality Control. Those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head, but he tells me, look, this the shit that they want, this the shit that they need, girl, where are you from? Dude, Oxymoron was a really fucking good album, okay? Even though that's so, 2013. It's 2013, right? I don't know. But he tells me about the shit that they look for. He pays a lot of attention to it because, dude, it's his job. He gets artists signed. He brings them to people who are looking for them. Again, I feel weird just dropping names. I'm not trying to just drop names yet, even if doing so would be straight up promoting these people. And I just also dropped the names of the record labels he's worked with or talked to or whatever. But at the same time, maybe that builds curiosity. Who's this guy, Sam? When do we get to meet him? Bottom line, they're looking for, a handful of things, which is a topic for another Insight video I'm making. There may or may not be a link in the description for it, actually. One of them, a big one, is numbers, social media numbers, and numbers that, fucking ideally, real numbers. And the ones that matter the most right now are Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram numbers, which are, if you pay attention to my social media presence at least, what I am putting most of my effort into at the moment. And I don't fucking even want to get signed. But you know why they want artists with high numbers on those platforms? The same reason I want it. Fucking money. And the fact that Spotify curators, rather than independent playlist curators, which I'm going to talk about in a little, cater more to labels is because labels have investors and money and all this other shit. That, as far as I know and have dug into, is the main reason it's so hard to get on with Spotify as an independent artist nowadays, let alone get Billboard type radio play. It's easier, but at the same time it's harder to get to the top, the top. In Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley, a book on, how to be a millionaire, and a lot of other things that involve millionaires, obviously, which I'll drop a link in the description if you guys want to check it out and maybe read the reviews. The author says it's easier today to become, even though this was written fucking the year I was born, which was sometime before 2000. He said it's easier to become a millionaire than ever and harder to become a billionaire than ever. And I always found that interesting, but I feel in industries like music, I think things like this are the reason why. By the way, a little deeper in this video, I get really explosive and ranty, if that's a word, but I know it's deeper than money, that's one thing. However, money is the biggest slice of the pie, by a humongous landslide as far as reasons go. And if this is the only concern of labels, aside from maybe branding, I think that's naive and rather immature. YouTube and Instagram are easier to monetize, at least in 2019, than Twitter and Facebook, debatably, and that's a huge reason they're obviously so big and expensive today. Spotify is the dominant music streaming platform, just a tad behind Apple Music, but labels seem to care more about Spotify. Labels, if I had to guess, don't really have as much power with Apple Music because Apple is very much its own entity. It might have to do with the fact that Spotify needs money to keep growing. Its valuation is currently at $20 billion, and a lot of people think that's a lot of money, but Apple's is over fucking 1 trillion, which is literally over 50 times that. I'll know more about all this bullshit at the time the video drops, and I'll probably end up making another video about it sometime in the future as well. But labels are just one reason. Then we have DJing. DJs make mixes, and mixes are played at clubs and parties and festivals and shit. But what if and bar mitzvahs, I'm Jewish. I didn't have one at my bar mitzvah party because I didn't have a bar mitzvah party because I don't really like parties. I feel that's rare for rappers, but I feel it isn't for producers, and I feel I'm more of a producer at heart than a rapper. I don't know. But what if you have a party with just your friends? I think nowadays there are a lot more of those than anything else I just mentioned. Even though more people go to those than just parties with, little parties with their friends. I think. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know where the fuck you could find statistics about this other than statistics.com or gov or something. But people like hanging out and listening to music. The Spotify founder himself, Daniel Ek, or I don't know how the fuck you pronounce his name. He said, literally in a Q&A 3 years ago, and that doesn't even matter because it's only really beginning to come true now, that Spotify wants to have a soundtrack to every waking moment and sleeping moment of your day and your life. So basically, they want all your attention and time, whether it's conscious or not, which they convert into money, and the money overflows the cup, and all the stockholders and employees and everything get paid and hold hands and dance and sing around the bonfire, and the artists might get the breadcrumbs, let alone the labels and music aggregators, which is still fucking plenty. But artists are probably at the bottom of the totem pole, if I had to make an educated guess. So we all got our baby bonfire on the side that we sing and dance around. More than many realize, humans are very habitual creatures. Extremely habitual creatures. There are specific moments people experience during which they they want to hear songs? What moment do they experience every single day that you can take and be like, hey, this is my best song, it's adding the best value to the situation, and the listener listens to it every day because that's the song they wake up to or brush their teeth to. My shaving song is Nothing Without Love by Etherwood. It's literally the only song I listen to on a very regular basis. But everyone has that, whether they realize it or not. I'm not like a lot of people, so maybe that's why I really only have one song. You need to make your music congruent with the habits of people you're targeting. That's how well you need to know about these people. And a lot of artists are just trying to make music that sounds good. That's fucking not enough. And the labels don't even realize this, especially if they want more out of Spotify, a company with a mission like that. And if they do realize it, they're not fucking working hard enough on it to fix it. Then,
And their little ghostwriting teams.
dude, I swear when I die, people are gonna see videos like this and be like, oh, that's what we should have done. Golly gee. Wow, and I know, everything just gets more complicated, but you need to understand this so you can really break it down to the bitch number in peace. So here's the real kicker. And I want you to really pay attention to this specifically, because this is where it gets a little bit technical. I don't know how to break it down any simpler than this. People don't just like those moments. The moments those songs are individual soundtracks to. They like to sequence the contexts of them together and show the sequences to their friends. AKA, they like to make playlists and show the playlists to their friends. Most people don't do this, but a lot of people on Spotify are getting new music recommendations every day, discovering new music through Spotify. And what do they see when they first open up Spotify? A bunch of playlists that are filtered and shown to them based on an algorithm that is distributed in a way that specifically caters to their tastes. Who controls the playlists? The same power DJs once had. The power is now pivoting from the DJs to the curators of these playlists. The people who choose the songs, and they're like, hey, this belongs here. This does too. And this does too. And this does too. And this one is fucking trash. Don't ever show me a song like that again. But hey, you know what? Show it to Jim. Yeah, show it to Jim, the curator in that other department. I'm pretty sure he'd love it. That power is pivoting from DJs to curators. When and if it pivots entirely and DJs become basically a thing of the past, I don't know. But the future of music distribution is what we're looking at here. And the way your music fits into it can help you determine the direction you probably want to go in. Because it determines literally any direction. But what you guys might be wondering, or have been wondering, is how the fuck do I get on one of these playlists? Well, you see, I'm like Elon Musk in the sense that I do a bunch of fucking different things, but hopefully, as you guys know, I rap and sing and produce my own music entirely from the scratch. It's 100% self-made. I'm figuring that out now, probably 100 times faster than I was before, because by the time this video is being released, I'm working in Atlanta at a music marketing firm, and I've done a bunch of research on Spotify already and more, but until I actually get on one of these playlists myself, which I'm going to, the more I apply, the more results I get, I'm inevitably gonna tell you guys a lot of this shit. My boss, when I started, sent me a link to a less popular video, but way more valuable video from an artist. It totally blew my mind. It's about search engine optimization on Spotify and how to get your shit booming more on the platform. I'm gonna link that video below. I highly recommend checking it out and very highly recommend taking notes so you understand it better. Honestly, I recommend taking notes on everything all the time, but that's because I'm a fucking robot and we're always recording things and analyzing things and using them to optimize life on this planet and, you know, other ones, but that's a topic for another video. But what do you guys think? What reasons am I missing? What insights do you guys have to bring to the table other than the ones I have brought to the table? I would definitely love to know what you guys think about this shit with Spotify. Please fill me in. Again, I like learning from other people. It's not just me. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. There are links at the bottom of the description of all my social media. Also at the end of the description, there are links to my new production kits where you can find all the hardware and software that I use to make music. If you buy any, I get commission, which helps me build this channel and keep making these videos for you guys. I made all the beats in this video. If you want to use them, you can find links to each one in the description from first to last or at samuel.r/beats. Make sure to leave a like if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already. If you could turn on a little bell, receive a notification every time I drop a new video, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.